Hey everybody, we are going to have just a quick 10 or so minute bonus video here. This is on typesetting equations and putting them with text and figures in Microsoft Word. This will really help you just put together reports, documents, homeworks that look nice without having to go to all the trouble of using a full-on typesetting software like LaTeX or something like that. If you're familiar with such things, great. That'll be a huge boon. If you've never heard of or used anything at all, you'll be fine. Don't worry. So let's get to it. In Microsoft Word, I'll focus on equations first and then a little bit of stuff after. We start an equation with Alt equals. It's somewhere up in a menu. You can find a menu and click it. I love keyboard shortcuts. You should love keyboard shortcuts. So Alt equals, and you notice it now says type equation here. Cool. Let's type an equation here. Intuition is a pretty good guide for a lot of the basic stuff. So if I want to write like y equals mx plus b, okay, great. Well, there it is, y equals mx plus b, but it looks equation-y now. If I want to do something a little more complicated, then I might write like 0 equals ax squared. So here's my superscript operator is the little up hat, the caret. And there it is. You hit space and it automatically converts it to a superscript. Plus bx, plus bx plus c. So I can do things like that. What if I want to label the constant in particular? So subscripts are just underscore 1, and then I hit space, automatically converts it to an underscore. So we can now do superscripts, we can do subscripts. This already gives you lots of power for setting up equations and just making things look a little bit nicer. Now, there's a lot more you can do from here. Alt Enter, start a new equation. You can do various functions, and what's nice here is it will convert the functions to straight text rather than italic text for you. So I can be like sign space. So you'll notice it's changed the font on sign, and now it's already created a place for me to enter the argument of the sign function. What do I want to put in here? I don't know. How about a theta? Oh no, how do I make a theta? It's Greek. Well, I could switch to my Greek keyboard and start typing, or I could say backslash theta space, and it makes a theta. So lots of commands are accessed with backslashes. If you're trying to find something, you can't find it in a menu, or better yet, don't search for it in a menu, learn the shortcuts. It's very often backslash the name of the thing or something close related. If I want to make a limit of this, let's say I have the limit space. Ooh, look, it looks like a limit now. Ooh, so I made an underscore and hit space, and now it has the space for the thing that goes under the limit. I want theta to go to, how do I make a little arrow? Draw a little arrow. Boop. So that was dash, and then my right arrow, my greater than sign. Theta goes to, how do I type infinity? Now, it would be a reasonable guess to say backslash, because it's a special character, infinity. Alas, it does not work. This one has a short name, infty. Boop. And now I can have a limit as theta goes to infinity of, I don't know. Let's make a fraction. So we need a slash sign for this. D slash dx, or really dd theta, right? Highlight backslash theta space. And yeah, sine of theta, sure. What is this limit? Well, it's actually not defined. Okay, you win this round, mathematicians. But um, even though this is not a very meaningful equation, it is a very nice looking equation. You can do things with compound or nested parentheses. So if I make some parentheses here, it's confused because it doesn't know that they're attached to each other. It's already made different blocks of text. But I can do this. If I want to do, let's say I just have tangent of x of g of y. I don't know what I'm doing here. as I type things out and hit space, hey, look, it's resized those parentheses for me to make the outer ones bigger so it's clearer who is inside of whom. And I could replace these parentheses with square brackets or curly braces, or I guess those are really your three options for grouping symbols. So you can do all of these things. A lot of it's pretty intuitive. A lot of it is make reasonable guesses and use the space bar. Now, there are a few objects that we want to know names for that are used quite a lot. We'll need a degree symbol. This is backslash degree, 37 degrees. We'll want to be able to do our different multiplication operators. So there's the dot. You might guess backslash dot. That's a high dot though, and we want the dot in the middle of the line. This is actually backslash bullet. There's my times. And you're like, well, okay, that's my dot, but I remember Calc 3. I remember that there's other multiplication when I have vectors. I can have the cross product. This is backslash times. That's your good old fashioned X for multiplication. Backslash divide. Oh no, backslash div. There it is. So that gives you that good old fashioned division sign if you ever find a use for that. Hey, let's make a fraction. Let's make a compound fraction, a slash b. And now you can see it's set out the text above and below the fraction line. Now, if I hit space, it's going to start converting things. If I use the arrow keys to move away, then it doesn't do the conversion. So if you want to leave something in like its raw form, then you move away with the arrows instead of spacing. C over D over E over F space. Hey, look, now I have a fraction in the bottom of my fraction. And if I want to make the top a fraction also, then I can space that. Later, you can come back to things and alter them as well. And so now I have this lovely compound fraction. So these are a few of the things that you can do with writing equations. There's lots more options. And when I'm inside of an equation, you can see that in the top, there's this whole equation menu that appears. So I have things for square roots. I have things for integration, for sums, for vector and matrix operations. I have all these drop downs of symbols that I can access. So there's a lot of them when they have, I almost just pointed at the screen like you can see me. Primitive brain. Anyway, when things have a slash command, if you hover over them in the menu, it will actually tell you the slash command for that thing. Let's go make a double Z and just make sure it's not lying. Backslash double Z. Oh, wow, it worked. All right. There's one more shortcut that I want to show you before we move on to just documents overall. Which is when you're doing integrals and sums, there will often be both subscripts and superscripts. And one thing you can do is you can go into the menu and choose the particular thing that you want, and you can do that. And for more complicated forms, that may actually be the best way to do it. But backslash int, so this creates my integral sign. Now I want to assign both the lower and upper bounds of my integral from A to B space. It's like magic, you guys. This is just the best. I can do the same thing with sums as well. So backslash sum, and then I'm going to do from N to inf T. Okay, I missed. But even though I messed up, when I hit space, it was still smart enough to realize, oh yes, you wanted that to be the top of the sum expression. So this is how you can set up integrals and sums with upper and lower bounds. Okay, so we have all these equations. When you are writing up a document, a report, a homework, whatever it is, then you probably are going to have some interleaving of text and equations and figures. And so you can type your text normally. I am text. Hello. Oh no, it's accidentally in an equation. Well, I am text. Yay. Oh no, don't auto emoji me. I'll make my smiley faces the way I want to. Typing things about what I'm learning here. And now I need an equation. Alt Enter, create an equation, type my equation here, whatever it's going to be. I don't know. Do we want to do something fancy? I backslash h bar. Let's do a partial derivative. Partial d, make it over a fraction. Partial t. If you've taken a quantum mechanics class, you know where this is going, so I won't write the rest of it. And if you haven't taken a quantum mechanics class, then you have no idea what I'm on about. But there we go. So now I have an equation. If I hit tab like I just did, then by default equations are centered, but you can just make them regular left justified text by hitting tab if you want to. Now I have even more things to say about this beautiful equation. Sometimes autocorrect is useful, or autocomplete rather, but I also need a figure. Now, putting figures in Microsoft Word can sometimes be a little bit hairy because they don't always play nice with text embedding, but it just takes a little bit of massaging to make them cooperate. So I'll just plop in a figure here. Oh no, I accidentally control C'd too many times. Let me go dig up a figure here real quick. All right, so I'm going to plop in a figure. Say hello to our arithmancers, or sanjutsu, as they are known in Japanese, literally like arithmetic warriors. Because, you know, why can't you be a nerd and also be a battlefield badass, I guess. Um, I'm very excited about the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. And if you don't know what I'm on about, just like you didn't know where I was going with that equation above, it's fine. This is just the kind of nerd I am, right? Okay, so I have a figure. Figure 1. Arithmeticians. I wanted to call them arithmancers, but that's a story for another time. Note that their fashion sense is impeccable. So I've made a little caption for my figure, and I'll just bold figure 1 there. Onward with the exposition. Blah, blah, blah. And so now I've made a homework document. Now, as I try to do things with this figure, you see I try to place it, it gets really wacky. This little button hovering just to the right of it, this lets you choose how to have it deal with the text around it. So if I choose top and bottom, then you can see as I move it around, it splits text above and below it. This is often useful. Sometimes you want to put it exactly somewhere specific on the page, though. And so then you can have this in front of text option chosen. And now it is just a free moving object on the page, but it is obscuring my text. So I'll have to manually move my text around to get it where I like it. Ta-da! All right, that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this video longer than it needs to be. There's lots of keyboard shortcuts. I hope you learn them and discover them and find your favorites and use them to explain wonderful things about math. So that's that. I will see you in the next one.